Hey guys, hope you're all well. Right, this is just a little bit of a catch up with the BMW and some ideas I've been coming up with and a lot of research. So the other day I went to one of these motorcycle warehouse type places over at Donington. Met one of the subscribers there actually, so that was nice. And I had a good walk round looking at basically every single bike in there, and there's hundreds. And I kept going back to one particular model and walking around again and going back to it and so on and so on. Repeat, repeat, repeat. This model was definitely standing out as a donor for the rear end of this BMW build. I'll put a picture up. It would definitely lend itself to the design of this bike. It was a DUCATI Desert X. The rear end on it is just so basic, so simple. And I think it would be, I shouldn't say easy to fit. It might be relatively easy to fit. The DUCATI tank is very similar in shape and the angles. So the seat would obviously butt up against that tank quite easily. Even if I had to modify this tank very slightly for it all to drop into place, that wouldn't be a problem. The subframe is very basic. Even if I had to change some of this frame for it to work, that is no big deal at all. I can do that. The rear mudguard's very basic on them, the rear light. Just the design of it, I think, would be absolutely perfect on this bike. Now the image is in my head, I'm going to do everything I can to try and make it happen. I think these Desert X's are a relatively new model of bike, and the only trouble that causes, the parts for them are very expensive. I've had a sort of a brief look. Yes, the parts are out there. There are some parts in Italy, but the only trouble with that, anything over £135, yeah, you get hammered with customs, import duties and all that business, which I don't really want to do because that can be quite hefty money. Plus the one in Italy, just the subframe alone was 300 and something quid. So yeah, that just makes it, it's not feasible. It really isn't. It's far too expensive. Now there is a few companies in this country who are advertising on eBay parts for the DUCATI Desert X. I have messaged two of them this morning to see what they get back with. They are listing several parts off them on there. There's one that's breaking more or less an entire bike. The front end's gone off it, so I presume it's had a front end crash. Even if parts of the rear end were damaged, it doesn't matter. Even if the subframe's a little bit bent, it doesn't matter. I can sort that out. Even if the seat's ripped, it doesn't matter. We can get it recovered. But if I can source all the parts on that back end off the DUCATI, that would be absolutely fantastic, because like I say, I've now got that sort of image in my head. I think it would be absolutely perfect for the design and the looks of this bike, the direction I want to go with it. So like I say, I've messaged two companies, one that's got the DUCATI that they're breaking, to see if they do a decent price on the entire rear end, see what they come back with. Or like I say, I don't mind sourcing the parts from several different places just to build that entire back end. Worst scenario, is it a worst scenario? It'd be nice and easy if I could get the entire thing, but if I had to build the subframe, if I sort of got the seat, the rear mudguard, the light, the under tray, obviously the seat catch and stuff like that, I need everything. Maybe I could build my own subframe to suit all of that, sort of replicate the DUCATI one. But obviously that's a lot of very time consuming, and there's still obviously a cost there with all the materials. getting the entire thing would just make it really easy, because then I could just offer it up to the bike and do all the appropriate modifications for it to drop on there and bolt up. That would be the nice scenario. Like I say, if I have to build a subframe, I have to do it. I'm going to try and avoid doing that, because like I say, getting the whole lot would be really easy, and then I can just see exactly what I've got to change. And obviously all I've got to do is the 4 mounting points, and it's on there, and maybe a bit of modifying here and there to the frame that's already there. This frame's sort of any, obviously we've got the frame that we built to take the front end, and it's literally any of that is holding the rear shock, but I can do something there to get round all that some way somehow for that DUCATI front back end to fit. I'm pretty sure it can be done. So yeah, that's where I would really like to go with it. So it may take a few days to get like replies off people. It is a bank holiday coming up, and I'm just going to go from there. If I can pull that off, I'll be very, very happy, because like I say, I think it'll suit this bike perfectly. It's a very basic rear end, which is what I want. I don't want all this clutter everywhere. I don't want a really bulky rear end on it. Like I say, that DUCATI X is sort of an off-roady orientated adventure bike, which is what this is going to be. That's sort of the idea I've got with this. So to me, it would be absolutely perfect. And then I'm still thinking about the front light. I think I am swaying towards just a very basic round light with the cage round it. I think that would suit it, and again keeps it all sort of basic looking. And as we said, we're going to go with the Africa Twin front mudguard. That keeps that easy. Buy it, bolt it on, done. Apart from obviously painting it when we get to that stage of the bike. I was thinking using the Africa Twin front mudguard as well. That completely solves my oil cooler problem that I had by using that high level mudguard. Obviously we're very restricted with space. If I remember right, the oil cooler was in the big ugly front on this bike. Yeah, I'm sure it was. So options for the oil cooler are very, very slim, ideally in there. But with that high level mudguard, that was going to restrict that idea immensely. But with the Africa Twin mudguard, I can now just get the oil cooler in there, job done. That'll clear everything, and obviously there's a nice big gap in the tank to put it in there, and it's getting plenty of airflow through there. So that sort of makes that idea really easy now. So yeah, if we can sort the rear end for the DUCATI, that's also going to speed the build up of this bike. It's obviously still going to make it interesting. There's still going to have to be lots of modifying to get that back end to fit, and I'm sure I can do it. Like I say, I've got that image in my head now. I just think it would be perfect for the job. Perfect, whether I get it all in one bulk buy from that guy who's breaking one, or I have to source the bits from all different places. I will do my best to make that happen. Speedo. Someone made a funny comment with a Speedo, and I can't get that out of my head now. So I'll sort of sway him back to the original Speedo idea, because it sort of dropped nice in between the risers. And then one of you said it looks like a Speedo off an exercise bike. Yeah, that's true. It does. Now I can't get that image out of my head. Why did you say that? It's funny. Very funny. I was laughing when I read that. So yeah, I don't know what to do with that. Again, there's going to be a lot of mind changing. We are a million miles away from completion on this bike, obviously. Yeah, so there's going to be still a lot of mind changing and chopping and changing about. But that's what it's all about. This build it's been huge. Just the work that went into making that front end work alone was days and days and days, probably several weeks of work to make all that sort of work out properly. So yeah, this is an absolute monumental build when you think about it. And we're way off completion, because obviously when we've got all the cosmetic stuff sorted out with the back end and everything working, and then the motor's got to be dropped, and we've got to make that all nice and pretty. So that's a fair bit of work as well. And then I've got to get the back wheel out and get all that powder coated black to match the front wheel and all respoked, because I am not respoking one of them wheels ever again. Not a chance. So I don't know if you remember, that was an absolute nightmare doing the front one. And yeah, an absolute nightmare. I won't do it again. It just doesn't behave anywhere near a conventional spoke wheel. It does things that you just can't fathom out. It was very strange. I think it clicked in the end by total luck. I got it to work in the end. So yeah, I will send the back wheel off, pop all the spokes out, get everything powder coated, and that can go to someone else to sort out. I think there's literally one person, I think he's down in Devon. Most people turn these wheels away and won't touch them. Not even BMW would touch them. If you've got problems with wheels, they won't even bother touching it. They'll replace it. I think so many spokes loose. No, that's scrap. But yeah, there's a lot to do. Hell of a lot to do. Can't think what else. Obviously there'd be places to put the battery. That'll need sorting. There's these side panels. Do I put the standard ones back on, or will I have to make some to suit the DUCATI setup if I can pull that idea off? Who knows, we might be making things for here. We will see. There was something else that was a bit dodgy on it. Oh, it's the air intake that's all broken. I might even make a fancy one of them that, I don't know, could come through one of the side panels or something, and we'll have a little gauze in there as well. Things like that. There's a lot to do, and it will sort of evolve as we go along. And you'll have a bet how many bits end up in the scrap bin through mind changing. There's already a pile down there. Oh, that's what another thing I wanted to ask. Has anybody got an old exhaust pipe, a carbon fibre one, like some of the early cans, let's say like a round can, some of the early ones, they just literally used a round carbon fibre tube. I think maybe, I don't know, Remus or something like that. Some of the older sort of style exhaust used to do things like that. Doesn't matter if it's broken. I want a section out of that carbon fibre tube for an idea on the BMW. If anyone's got a broken one of them kicking around the back of the shed or in their scrap pile, I'll be very interested in buying it, because like I say, I just want a section. If it's about, I don't know, 80, 100 mil round, that'd be perfect. It's just for a little idea I've got on this, for something I've took off it and changed my mind with. So yeah, if anyone's got a bit of an old carbon fibre silencer, I'll be very interested in purchasing that for an idea. Like I say, it doesn't matter if you've it's been on a bike, you've crashed or dropped or everything, it's cracked or crumbled. I just want a section out of it. I can't think what else. The list is still huge, and I've had days of thinking about this and pondering over all sorts of bits and bobs and ideas on it, which obviously it's all part of the build. But I am definitely set, really is set in concrete, of trying to pull this DUCATI back end idea off. Absolutely want to try it. I just think it'd be perfect. Absolutely perfect for it. Colour wise, I would really love to go white and you know, with the red and blue and so on, sort of BMW colours, the sporty M Sport colours. That's where I want to go with this, because I think it would look nice. Black engine, get a wrinkle finish black engine like the modern BMWs, and all white, red, white and blue bodywork. I think it'll look well. So yeah, it's going to take several days, I think, to try and pull this Ducati back end off, source the parts at reasonable cost and stuff like that. That's what I'm up against, because it's a new model. People do charge the earth for parts off newer model bikes, but we'll see what we can do. Hopefully we can sort it out. Right, I've got a few jobs I've got to go and do this morning. I've got a friend of mine coming across in a moment. It's mate who owns this one, actually. As I explained when I brought this bike into the picture, we're doing a bit of a job swap. I need to order parts for the van. The old girl's done nearly 200,000 miles now, and I went to order brake pads. I think I explained they were wrong, and after taking the front wheel off, the discs are gone. So there seems to be different types of discs for that age of van. So he's coming across to help me take things off, because I am struggling a little bit with these broken arms. And that weighs a ton on that van. So he's coming across to help me strip a few things out, to get some measurements, so I can also order the parts for the van, and then he can toodle away and do that job for me while I'm messing with his bike. So in between everything, sourcing BMW parts, or should I say Ducati parts, we will be doing a few jobs on this. I think I'm going to start with the battery tray first, finding a nice place to hide that, and then we're going to start attacking all this really nasty stuff that's going on with it. Yeah. Checker plate on a bike. No. Fine if you're building sort of a rat bike sort of theme thing, I guess, but yeah, I'm going to do something a little bit better for this, and then try and get the old calf racery style back end back on it, but fitted a lot better. Well, it was virtually just resting there. He's going to order the filters for it, he's going to order the spark plugs, and then we're going to get it running right as well. Like I say, I'm going to find a nice place to hide the battery, make a tray for it, and get little jobs like that done to it. And as I explained in the video for this, we're just going to get it tidy-ish, but all running nice and safe, and get it for an MOT. And yeah, Michael's coming across to have a look at the van. Michael, by the way, is a lad that we took on from school in the blacksmithing days, so we go back a fair way. And yeah, well, before he even left school, he used to come in and out, because he lived in the village where we had the blacksmith shop. So yeah, I've known him for a long time. And he eventually left school, went to college and done his blacksmithing course, and worked with us for many years. Anyway, we were actually discussing the other day to drag the old anvil out, get the forge fired up, which is under there, and we both have a crack at it. Happy memories. So we may do a video of that if we decide to do that. In fact, let's not decide, let's just do it. Get the anvil and forge up and running, and me and Michael will do a bit on it. Having a bit of a messing about. Anyway, also I've got to clean the KTM, because the subscriber I met at Donington kindly pointed out that it was dirty. The cheek of it. It was spotless. But now I'm gonna have a nice relaxing morning getting that clean again. Everything still absolutely perfect, running perfect, no more issues firing up after its little off-road escapade in Italy, and it ended up on its side. The new battery that I put on, no issues whatsoever, and I've probably done close to 400 mile on it now. I'd like to thank everybody for watching the previous video, my little day out going to the airfields. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I know it's not for everybody, but I will throw in the odd video like that. If I go anywhere interesting, I will throw the odd video in, and it could give some of you guys ideas to jump on your bike and go and have a look at some of these things instead of just a ride round the block with nowhere to go sort of thing. It could give you some ideas. I know a lot of you guys are interested in that sort of thing, that subject, the military or whatever, or it could be other things. Could be some beautiful abandoned buildings or some nice areas, and if it gives some of you guys ideas to get out and about, and then that's great. Yeah, perfect. So I will share the odd little ride out. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see when the BMW gets done and sold. I will go and get that rough and ready. I'll say I've decided on an XT660 10 array, but a beat up one to go and do all my rough and ready trips on, so I don't get all upset about it if I dropped it, scraped it, dented it and things like that. But that's way down the line yet. That's, yeah, way further into the future that will happen. But yeah, I will share the odd day out if it's a place of interest. No point sharing just because I do go a ride out in the evenings. Most evenings I'll go for a ride out for an hour or two, but that's, like I say, I don't really go anywhere, but I will share some if I find places of interest. Anyway, I think that'll do. It's a bit of a catch up. You can sort of get an idea of what direction we're going to go with the BMW. I'm going to try and stick to that plan now because it's in my head and I can't get it out of my head. So to me, that's the right direction to take. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you posted on that one. Like I say, in the meantime, I've got other jobs to do. I've got a frame to build for someone, and someone else actually. I've got a frame here ready for somebody. I've got another one to do. No point in filming all that business because you've seen that to death sort of thing. And yeah, lots to do. It's going to be busy. So Tuesday onwards, I'll be back in here ploughing ahead. That'll do. Cheers for watching, guys. Take care.